They ended up cut.
There we go, baby. We're live, Marty. That's how we do it.
In the back screen. In the back screen.
Love it. What's up, YouTubeites? Welcome to the Weekly Shaker Show, the show where we talk about those books that sold on the aftermarket. But while you're all settling in, pouring yourself a cold one, get cozy, and let's see what we got on those ones and twos, baby.
Nothing will stand in our way. I will finish what you started. Nothing can stop that now.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Yo, okay, Chris, I saw you backstage. I saw what you were doing, man. The guy was
What are
flipping.
you talking about?
He was flipping the yo-yos. You guys got robbed of seeing some awesomeness, but we hopefully will show that afterwards, man, because it was amazing. But guys, welcome in. Thank you for coming to hang out with us for the Shaker Show this week, March 13. We have a lot of awesome books to talk about. Most likely, most of us ending up in the O for Abyss, but it's okay because you're not alone. We got the awesome crew here in the house. We got my brother Chris and Marty in the house. Let's go around the horn and see what's up. Chris, how's it going?
Hey, Lando. Hope those tariffs are treating you okay. I know they're going to be hitting us pretty soon. But hey, let's not worry about the politics of the day. Let's talk about some comic books because, my God, you know, it's just like I feel like I've been saying this all year. But my God, I need to talk about some comics because, woo! So I'm sitting here today. I'm in my comfy clothes. I got my Ultimate Warrior hat on, and I am ready to go.
Yeah.
Good Lord, man. Good Lord.
Show the hat. Show the hat. Come up close. Come up close. There
I
you
gotta
go.
focus it. There you go.
Ultimate Warrior. That's what you were doing. That's what you were doing. Love it, man. Loved it. But yeah, Marty, what's going on? You're back, baby. You're back.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's the ovation. I
Thank
hear
you.
it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Golf
Thank
clap.
you.
Golf clap.
Golf clap. Anyway, thank you for joining us, man. We got a Shaker Show tonight. I have no idea what's on the list. I came in late tonight, so this list is going to just be a surprise to me as much as it is to anybody who hasn't seen it yet, right? But nevertheless, man, I'm so happy to be here. It's good to see my boy Lando again. I know it just seems like forever since Tuesday, man, but we got our boy Lando. He may be Canadian, but he looks like our 51st state, if you ask me. But now we also got Dr. Yo-Yo. He may be Doctor of Yo-Yos, but he is not a Doctor of Love. Ladies and gentlemen, it is so good to be on this panel. I'm loving it.
How do you know that I'm not also a Doctor of Love? I mean, come on.
You're right. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to give you the benefit of the doubt on that one.
I'm doing something right.
But anyways, man, I tell you what, I'm just so glad to be here. I'm glad to be here with my boy Lando. I'm glad to be here with my boy Chris, Dr. Yo-Yo, and we're gonna have a fun time tonight. We're gonna talk about comic books. I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's in the chat tonight. We've got some great people who always are true to being on the show, as always, GT Key Comics. He's always the first one on there. We've got Victoria Pajak that's in there. Derek's always in there. Rudy, Alex is in there, man. And we just want to, so many people to name. And I don't want to get down that list, man, but we really, really thank you for joining us. This is fun. This is fun for us as much as it is fun for you guys. Stay tuned to the end. Chris is going to be doing the shakers at the end, and this is what the show is about: is the shaker. Yeah, we talk a little bit about cover price and what's on that hot list, right, on that shaker list, but really it's about what's shaking on that cover price hot list, man. So,
hell yeah,
back to you.
Absolutely, man.
Hold on, one thing before you go back to Lando. I know we want to talk about the bingo card, right?
That's what I was going to get.
Bingo card ready. There are 3 potential spots you could already be checking off. You could check off dogs on camera if that loaded in your thing. You can check off dogs snoring in camera. There you go, Lando. Hit that one right there. Second one under O. Dog snoring in the background, right there.
Where you go?
Go back up.
That's a given. That's already a given. You're going to get that.
Okay, so you got that one right there. And if you could just drop that link into the chat, it's longboxlords.com. You guys can play along at home, and if you win, I will not ship you a no prize.
Yeah. Look at the end, and if you guys haven't seen the categories up here, okay, of course, look at the top, LOTLB. Yeah. Very well done. I mean, you've got proof of life, things we always talk about. The damn. When something gets expensive, shout outs, man. Didn't I just do a shout out earlier to the chat?
To the chat.
Didn't I? There you go, right?
It could be Marty reminiscing also. So everybody who loads this up, there are the 25 tiles per page, but there are over 75 tiles available. So everybody's going to get a different card. It randomly generates. You guys can play along, okay?
Yeah.
And not everybody's going to win at the same time. You guys can.
It's all for fun. It's all for fun. And you don't know, one of these days, if you win on the bingo card, we might have that giveaway. Yeah, exactly, it might be something nice. I don't know.
You heard the boys. You heard the boys. You heard the boys. Longboxlords.com. If you want to pull up the bingo card, and we'll check off as we go through the show. We've already got a few we can knock off, so that's pretty cool. But all right, guys. Let's kick off the show. Of course, we're going to go through the shakers this week, and the list of the shakers comes from our friends over at Cover Price, focusing on new high sales or the most interesting sales found on their exclusive daily shaker list. This list changes several times every day, so make sure to check it every day to review some of the hottest trending books in the market. So, to kick it off, baby, what's at number 1?
Number 1, we have Air Pirates Funnies. Number 1, this is the manufacturer Air, missing the cyan ink. Back from Hell Comics in 1971. I don't know about you guys, but if my printer is out of cyan ink, it ain't printing nothing. Nothing. Yeah, I can't get it to do anything. I'm surprised that these ever made it out of the printer. But okay. Before Rule 34 was a simple Google search away, Dan O'Neill became an underground comic book legend by publishing 2 issues of Air Pirates Funnies. Air Pirates Funnies was a satire comic book that took famous Disney characters and depicted them doing the dirty deed, the dirty deed, if you know what I'm doing and know what I'm saying, and doing drugs also. Along this,
I don't know what you're saying. I don't.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll text it to you. Along this underground journey were fellow artists and writers Bobby London, Sherry Fenniken, and Gary Halgren, and Ted Richards. Many accounts state that O'Neill wanted Disney to notice these parodies. There are even stories that O'Neill went through the arduous process to sneak copies into a Disney board meeting. Oh, wow, that's amazing. O'Neill targeted Disney, specifically Mickey Mouse, as he believed that Mickey symbolized the conformist hypocrisy in America. The whole legal saga with Disney is an interesting read for those who love looking into significant comic books in a historical or political context. When you read this article tomorrow when it drops on Cover Price, There will be a link to a small clip from a 1988 documentary called The Comic Book Confidential. There are several variants of this book, most unintentional. This one is the first print by Hell Comics, and there are two small error prints. This one, which is missing the cyan ink, and another lesser-known error print, which is missing the black ink. A reprint with an alternate black and white cover was also published under the Air Pirates publisher title instead of Hell Comics. Perhaps the rarest is the UK version, which only has about 300 printings. CGC lists 49 copies of this issue graded at a CGC 9.6. However, there is not a specific count when you break it down by error. Nevertheless, a collector wanted this part of comic history and did not hesitate, dropping $1,600 to own their own copy at a CGC 9.6. And because it's slabbed, they can't even open it up to see Mickey Bonin.
Yeah, this
Have you seen it? Have you seen the interior?
I have not. No.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Not my kind of book.
Well, I love the history to it, and that read, you know, you get a little bit of that, right? But you know, there's a lot more that goes back to all of this, the Pirates Funnies and the Disney lawsuits associated with it, and you know, so there's a lot of history to this book. And I tell you what, man, this is a nice piece to have. I think early in rendition of the Mickey Mouse and stuff, but you know, it's not for everybody, right? But this is interesting. This is on the list too.
Yeah, some of the questions coming up in the chat are pretty funny. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Like you said, Marty, sake of history, it is a very interesting cover. Mickey covers, guys. Now that Mickey, well, the mouse has become pretty much public domain, it's funny to see some of the things coming out now too, right?
Yeah.
Chris, I don't know if you've seen some of the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, anytime you see something go public domain, you're gonna get that a little bit.
Have we seen Popeye yet? Anything? Did we see anything recent on Popeye? Because that just came out public domain too.
Yeah, the I Lie Popeye video game covers. Those have been on the list a few times. So yeah, those are as a result of the public domain. But you mentioned a couple of things, Marty, that you know it's worth really kind of looking at. This is 1971, right? In the read, it talks about O'Neill, the artist and writer, really wanted to get, you know, outrage and attention from the outrage, and that's something that a lawsuit would have done. So, you know, as offensive as he possibly could be, that's what he was doing. Yeah, this is definitely interesting. You got, you know, Mickey. He's got dope strapped to the back of the airplane. And, yeah,
very interesting for sure, guys. Air Pirates Funnies #1 manufacturer error, missing cyan ink. Hell Comics 1971 had a top sale for a CGC 9.6 at $1,600. Marty, what do we got up next?
Yeah, next we are looking at Cartoon Network Presents #1, Gendy Tartakovsky and Barbara Kruger, Platinum Edition, published by DC in 1997. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too much. Anyways, in 1992, Cartoon Network burst onto the scene, transforming the landscape of children's entertainment with this innovative approach to delivering animated series through the rapidly evolving medium of cable television. This groundbreaking network paved the way for a wave of comic book adaptations, bringing beloved characters to life in new ways. Iconic titles like Scooby-Doo and Space Ghost were among the first to be published by Archie Comics. Recognizing the immense potential of this burgeoning market, did I say that right? Burgeoning? Yeah. Okay. DC Comics seized the opportunity to acquire the rights for Archie and introduce the world to Dexter's Laboratory in 1997. Amidst the vast seas of collectibles, Discovering a promotional copy in pristine condition is rare, as many of these publications have been discarded or damaged. This week, we are excited to feature one genuinely unique, the Platinum Edition of Dexter's Laboratory. This book represents the debut of these beloved characters and reached an all-time high sale of $350 for the CGC 9.6 promo. Wow.
Yeah, that's wicked. Dude, I remember Dexter's Lab growing up. I loved it. Chris,
Did you really? Did you watch it? I didn't watch this. I watched mainly Ren and Stimpy. You know, I really loved that, and the Tiny Toons. Really enjoyed those. But you know, I never got into this one.
So what makes this Platinum Edition? Is it foil? I mean, I don't see anything other than the yellow stamp on the left-hand side. This is Platinum Edition. Does anybody know what makes this Platinum?
So, I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. The only thing I'm seeing that states Platinum Edition is at the bottom left.
Yeah,
of the cover.
That stamp.
Well, remember, during this time period, everything was a collectible or a Platinum Edition or a collector's edition. You know.
Yeah.
So it's the gimmick, man. It's the 90s. It's 97, man. That's during that bubble burst. You know.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is the first appearance of Dexter. Dexter's a very popular cartoon. It's got to be something with the background, because I'm looking at the regular and there's more color in the background than just the negative blue.
From what I'm seeing, it seems the regular cover is like, you know where the checkers are on like the outside of the book. It's purple. Yeah, it's like red orange.
Yeah, and then
I'm glad I'm glad someone like this. Me personally, I don't care. You know what I mean? I could care less about this book, to be my personal opinion. But you know, if someone's out there, you know, wanting to spend this is nostalgia for that time frame, then you know, more power to them. But for me, yeah.
Yeah, and if you really want the first edition, the first appearance of Dexter, I mean, you can pick it up for like under $10 right now, without the regular edition, not the Platinum edition. So I mean, that's just, you know, something to consider.
Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed Dexter growing up, man. I love this stuff. It was such a fun show to watch as a kid. You guys,
you know what? I really don't care. I really don't care, Lando. You can go fuck
yourself, Marty.
Okay, man.
Jesus.
Marty.
I'm gonna shut you down on Thundercats. You watch.
They're gonna have to bleep that one out, won't they?
No.
Dexter didn't do too much for me. I think I was more interested in like Space Ghost.
Space Ghost, yeah.
Hilarious, because I was a big David Letterman fan, and Space Ghost was kind of like my comic book Letterman. So, yeah.
But pretty cool. If your name isn't Marty, you might enjoy this book. Cartoon Network presents issue #1, Platinum Edition by DC, back in 1997. Had a top sale for a CGC 9.6 at $350. Chris, what do we got up next?
Next is a weird one. It's pretty weird. We got by DC in 2001, The Dark Age of Camelot, Questing Journal, #1 by Steve Lytle. This week, we received a record-breaking and only recorded sale for $710 for a raw copy of this rare comic? ? However, this item was not exactly a comic. It's a journal. It's a journal. Nevertheless, the absence of traditional elements have not deterred the passionate enthusiasts. Oh my God, that dog.
I'll go mute, man. I'll go mute.
Bingo.
Enthusiasts of the Dark Age of Camelot from seeking this elusive book out. Mythic, having invested in Abandoned, forged strategic partnerships with DC and Mad Magazine to bring the captivating world of Dark Age of Camelot into homes nationwide. Sources have claimed that this was distributed as a complimentary promo item during the 2001 E3 event, and also served as a giveaway prize at DC's Summer Extreme Sweepstakes in 2001. The book has roughly a couple pages of printed material, and the rest of it is blank to let people take notes of their gaming experience. Okay, so I would declare not a comic, but it has some comic pages in it. So, and it is printed by DC. So, all right, it's a comic. It's a comic, but $710 for a journal?
Crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Marty, I don't know how you feel about this one.
Yeah, man, I just unmuted myself because I had a whole paragraph I was talking earlier.
No, go ahead.
No, I think this is pretty cool. I mean, you know, for being in a journal, I'm curious why it made this list, you know, but this is one of those offshoot collectible kind of things that people kind of have on the side. I mean, but if you're going to spend $710 for something, this is better be good nostalgia for you, you know?
Yeah, it's quite an impressive penny for this one. And like, guys, I'm just gonna be honest. Somebody said it in the chat, but had I come across this, by no means did I think this would be worth $710.
No,
Not at all, man.
For a second, it would not occur to me. I would look at this and I would go, this would fall into the category of like the D&D books, you know, like, oh, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting, but regardless, somebody thought it was worth it because Dark Age of Camelot, Questing Journal #1 by DC back in 2001 had a top sale for a raw near mint copy at $710. Marty, I know you like this one.
Oh, yeah, of course. Here we go. Invincible #100. Ryan Otley Comicsology, black and white, limited to 500. Published by Image in 2013. Few series have garnered the hype that Invincible has both recently and over the last 7 years. Robert Kirkman's wonderful and violent take on superheroes has blown up in recent years due to the well-made and well-received animated series exclusive to Amazon Prime. While the animated series is currently focusing on events from issue number 61 to 80, it should come as no surprise to see other notable issues going for big numbers. This week, a limited variant of Invincible's #100 hit a new all-time high sale of $575 for a raw near mint copy. This raw sale tops the previous all-time high sale of from 2024 when a CGC 9.8 sold for $395. The Comicsology black and white variant from this issue was limited to 500 copies and featured great cover art by regular series artist Ryan Otley. It has been seen very few sales on the aftermarket, with only 25 sales in any condition as documented on Cover Price's current sales data. To see a raw copy surpass the previous sale of 9.8 is notable, and it just goes to show how popular Invincible has become, as Kirkman has once again hit a home run with his top-tier world building. Yeah, I absolutely agree, man. This Robert Kirkman got some great stuff. I really enjoy his things, you know. So for Invincible, but you know, I wish I would have got. I said this Tuesday. I wish I would have got on the Invincible train when it first came out. You know, especially with Robert Kirkman being on it, and you know, being big in everything he does. Shoot, you know, I wish I would have got on this, but nevertheless, I could see these books definitely by. I want to say raw near mint 575. The way Invincible is going right now, and I'm speculating, of course, but I can see this doubling within the next year.
I agree, and it kind of makes me think that I want to keep an eye out for other, you know, Robert Kirkman projects, because I mean, we got Walking Dead, we got Invincible. He's got quite a few titles under his belt. And you know, I'm wondering if we should be looking at maybe like the Rick Grimes books. I don't mean Walking Dead. I mean the alternate universe one that he has. And there's a couple other weird ones. There was one that he did with Rob Liefeld. before he did Invincible. He's got a lot of books under a lot of his own creations underneath his belt, and I kind of think that maybe we need to pay attention to those. So
I mean, I agree. I absolutely agree. I don't see this going anywhere but up. I mean, because look at what Walking Dead did initially, right? And then after the rise of the show and how much it, in some markets I saw it go up to $10,000, So and maybe sometimes more, but yeah, keeping an eye on his stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah, his first work was Battle Pope.
Yeah,
and the
that exploded. We spoke about that.
Yeah, the original printing of Battle Pope, you can pick it up for about $75 to $80 right now, and I think that might be a little low, considering the influence that this man has in the industry right now, and the success that he's had, not only for Walking Dead and all the spinoffs, but also the Invincible series and the universe that comes along with it.
Yeah, guys, Kirkman is just incredible. There's so many great titles. We don't talk enough about Void Rivals. I'm going to continue to tell you guys about Void Rivals because for myself, it is so enjoyable. Everything happening Energon universe is just incredible. But Invincible itself, Marty, I'm with you, man. I wish I caught on to the, issue ones, the first, couple of issues. I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't. I hopped on way later. But man, let me tell you, one of the most enjoyable reads. And I love it, every second of it. Guys, Invincible 100 Comixology, black and white, limited to 500 by Image in 2013, had a top sale for a run near mint at $575. Chris? Is it you or is it Marty? I'm mixing it up.
It's Chris.
There you go. Let's go.
So before we go, we're about halfway through the list, and we work really, really hard to make this show entertaining and fun for you guys. So we don't ask for bumper chats or money chats. It's always nice when you guys do that, but it's not mandatory. The only thing that we really, 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 really need you to do is help us with that algorithm, right? Because it's all about the algorithm on YouTube, and the more that we can get the Lords of the Long Box community to grow, the more fun we can have, and the more shows that we can have, and the more integration with special creators and artists and platforms that we can have. So go down to that bell icon, hit it for me, so that when we go live, and give me a thumbs up to tell me that you like this show. And if you don't like this show, go to the comment section and tell us why you don't like this show, because I'm not going to fight with you. I'm going to take it as constructive criticism, because that's how we get better. All right. So Mark Spears Monsters number 3. This is a KeenSpot web store exclusive, the Secret Hollow Foil. And it was released this year. Mark Spears is a name that you should probably know by now. You've seen his work a ton on not only the Shaker Show, but the Top 10 show as well. His work has been taking the community by storm. He's constantly breaking records. Oh, thank you. Thank you, JSS. I appreciate that.
There you go.
And it's a big shout out to my guy JSS Brooklyn for the $1.99.
That's awesome. Thank you, brother.
Getting started on Kickstarter, fans were blown away by the artwork, the material within, and the exclusivity of these books. The community has been trying to play catch up, but it can be difficult when incredible books like this come out of the woodwork. Spears has added special tiers to his Kickstarter with special variant covers to add an extra layer of exclusivity. However many pledges it receives, that's how many are produced, making it print to order with a hard limit of how many can be done. This book had a print run of 50 copies. So there are not that many out there. And if there are leftovers due to shipping damage or cancellations, Mr. Spears has developed a way for fans to access those books. Inevitably, though, some of these hit the market outside of that system, and this book, featuring a spectacular rendition of the Mad Hatter, selling for $1,263 for a raw copy. I'll say that again, Lando. $1,263.
It's coming.
For a raw copy. That's the only sale currently in the database, but it shows that those who have the means are after these exclusive books in a big way, especially when this book retailed for $200. It's dang near has become its own subset of the aftermarket, the Mark Spears pool. Oh, damn it. I'm going to get bingoed.
Yeah. I'm trying not to, man, but...
Herb Irvlinger, Bert Herngreif, Irv Hermlinger, Bing Livehanger, Livelink, Bert Herkern, Bingo Lingfucker.
Yep.
Okay. To Mark's, I get all the long ones. That's not fair. To Mark Spears' credit, he continues to produce these books at affordable prices. He is incredibly responsive to his fan base, which he supports. And the grassroots style of his fan base not only follows his fans, but the style of comic book production. As it continues to release new work out, we watch the market fluctuate with each subsequent release, and we are fascinated. Until then, keep your eyes peeled for the work of his that appeals to you, as it goes quickly. And there are a lot of variants out there, many themes to tickle your collector bone. It's rare to get another shot on the aftermarket for this kind of book with this low print run, but this one lucky fan spent 1,200 bones to get it.
Wow.
My God, that's a pretty penny.
He killed this, man. He freaking killed it, dude, you know? I love this. He's got his signature blue on there, as always, as you see, but just the evil look, the evil grin. He killed it, dude. I tell you what, this guy spent little over $1,200 on this. Wow, man, this is beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful.
It's very impressive. It's a stunning cover. Don't get me wrong, and I love Mad Hatter, so yeah, we can't go wrong there. But $1,263. Look at that premium, Chris. You said there was only 50 copies, correct?
50 copies, yeah. Originally retailed for $200, only available on his Kickstarter. I mean, these are scarce. You're not going to find these out in the wild. Good luck.
Yeah. To me, this goes within the same category as the Bridezilla, right? The Bride, not Bridezilla.
I think it's way up there.
Yeah, dude, this is the category of that, man. I'm telling you, this one is just as I think is just as beautiful as that Frankenstein's Bride.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk stunning covers, I agree with you. But for the price and the scarcity, this one's in a class of its own because this is a very heavy price tag. Very nice cover, as you said, Marty. I think it's a wicked cover, but my lord, that is a big, impressive price, guys. But anyways, Mark Spears Monsters, issue number 3, Keen Spot Web Store Secret Hollow Foil by Keen Spot. Of course, in 2025, had a top sale for a run near mint at $1,263. Oh, man, I love this. Let's go, Marty.
You can't go wrong with some J. Scott Campbell, right? First of all. And then also being a Michael Turner, right? Fathom. That's a tongue twister. Fathom. That's a tongue twister for me for some reason. But, dude, I love, first of all, I love J. Scott Campbell's and Michael, being a Michael Turner. Come on. This Michael Turner Fathom #1 cover B by J. Scott Campbell, published by Aspen in 2008. Fathom is Michael Turner's first and most famous creation, hitting the shelves in 1998 through Top Cow Productions. New series were halted in 2002 when Turner was diagnosed with cancer. After his cancer went into remission, he took his creation with him to his nearly created publisher, Aspen Comics. We would go on to produce Fathom Comics into his untimely passing in 2008. His creation lives on as Aspen Comics as the newest series, Fathom the Core, was funded as a Kickstarter last year. Turner's third volume produced a great cover for issue number 1 from superstar artist and weekly Shaker Report favorite, J. Scott Campbell. Raw near mint copies of the Campbell variant sells for a mere $25, but this week saw a graded 9.8 sell for an all-time high sale of $237. Be on the lookout for the ultra-rare red bikini variant that was limited to 250 copies and last sold raw for $90 in 2023. First of all, let me say, Michael Turner, rest in peace, left us, so early in life. Such an amazingly talented person. And you can find a lot of his work still in long boxes if you dig through them. His stuff is so underrated, man, and everybody loves him. And just so weird to see that, not more people are picking up his older works. He did some amazing stuff. And once again, J. Scott Campbell gracing his cover on that number 1. You can't ask for a better combination. Seeing this go for $237, I still think this is attainable. This is, to me, is more of a something a buy for a collector that like me, who loves both of these two wonderful artists.
Yeah. We just spoke Michael Turner, and Derek brought it up in the chat as well. What's interesting about this is it came out months, after Michael Turner unfortunately passed away, and inside there is a wonderful tribute to Michael Turner. So that is neat on its own. Unfortunately, if you purchase the CGC 98, I don't imagine you're gonna open up the book to see that. But J. Scott Campbell, art on this cover, who doesn't like J. Scott Campbell? You know what I mean? I would put him up there as one of today's, our time, big time artists. I love J. Scott Campbell. I said it the other night. I can't remember if it was on the top 10 show, but I always come back to this series because every time I see Michael Turner books as such for Fathom in the dollar bins, I'm always cleaning house. I love these covers.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, mind you, this is not his cover, but you know what I mean, from the run of Fathom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Chris?
It's I like Michael Turner's work. I like J. Scott Campbell's work.
Yeah.
This cover's not working for me. She's in the bikini in the glowing water, and she's got that look on her face like she just peed in the pool.
What?
That's what it looks like. And that's what the glowing phosphorus is around her. Fathom.
That's a good perspective, man.
I didn't expect that. That was a wild card. I don't know.
That definitely is a wild card, Lando.
Yeah. But no, I love it. I love it.
Okay. In all seriousness, Michael Turner left us too soon. Cancer sucks. And it's cool to see tributes to him, especially when you consider his long-term artistic partner, J. Scott Campbell. So yeah,
I love it. Somebody mentioned in the chat that J. Scott Campbell's got some Marvel Rivals covers dropping over on his website, so keep an eye out for those. But I love this Michael Turner cover. Michael Turner's Fathom #1, cover B, J. Scott Campbell by Aspen in 2008, had a top sale for a CGC 98 at $237. Chris, what do we got next?
Next we have, first of all, chat, I'm always going to ruin it. Okay. I'm going to go out of my way to make it awkward for you, because somebody has to play that role, and not everybody can just read these and wipe the drool off their chin like my two co-stars who assume that it's the breast cover ever.
Ever.
All right.
Yeah.
I kid with love, but not really. Using issue number 4 by Calliope. Calliope? I'm going to go with Calliope. 1994. What do Sandman, Spawn, Dawn, and Hellboy have in common? Besides being some of the most iconic indie characters to come out during the 90s, they were each featured on the cover of Musings. Musings was a 4-part comic review book created by Calliope Comics in 1993. The 4th issue features original work by Mike Mignola, done in black and white. Mignola is a beloved creator with a unique and dynamic art style. He's also praised for the creation of his most famous character, Hellboy. Issue 4 was also released in an ashcan form at the 1995 San Diego Comic-Con. Good Lord, good luck finding that thing.
Yeah.
Of the 4 issues, this is the one that is most sought after, with only 18 comics appearing on the CGC census, and only one at a 9.8. The next best grade, 9.4. There are 4 of them. Recently, one of those 9.4 sold for $530. Okay, this is pretty cool. The 90s were full of really good comic magazines, like Wizard and Hero. I honestly hadn't heard of Musings, but I think it's cool. And I think Hellboy is a very underrated character. I really do.
Amen.
Man, let me tell you, if you find anything with Hellboy, especially this the way it's drawn and some earlier Hellboys, pick it up, man, because those things have a huge following and they go for big money too. I've seen some people pay some big money for some early Hellboys, so I can see this definitely with the art on it. Yeah, I definitely can see this selling for that much.
Did you guys see The Crooked Man?
No, I did not.
The new Hellboy movie, The Crooked Man?
No.
Nope, I did it.
That is a fever dream of a movie. Do not self-medicate before you watch that movie. It'll mess you up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we don't condone that of self-medicating. So listen to Chris, okay?
Yeah. Guys, I didn't watch that one, but what I did watch is all the original Hellboy movies. I didn't watch the one with David Harbour, but I did love, obviously, the Ron Perlman ones. Those ones were absolutely my favorite. Dude, I was in like high school.
I enjoy those. Yeah,
when that first dropped, and I loved it, man. Hellboy. You got to remember, at that point in time, like Hellboy wasn't even close to on my radar when it came to comics. Like I was still in high school and whatever. And this is how I actually learned about Hellboy, was through that movie. And then when I discovered the comics, it was like, oh, okay, this is a whole other ballgame. You know what I mean? The comics were just wonderful. I never saw this Musings one, so I didn't. I obviously don't own this, but pretty interesting sale. I think it's a very nice cover as well.
Yeah, I think that Ron Perlman would still be doing the character, except for that he's getting a bit older. He's a bit on the older side. And, when did the first Hellboy movie come out? Was it early 2000s?
Early 2000s, I believe. Or late 90s or early 2000s.
And Ron Perlman was old when those came out. So, I understand why I had to go to a new actor. And I think I think he does a fine job. I really do. It doesn't quite scratch the itch of that Ron Perlman had with that kind of that grimacing voice and everything. But he's the new guy. The name escapes me. You said it earlier, Lando. He's a fine actor and he does a good job. But by God, that Crooked Man movie was super weird.
Yeah, you were talking about Perlman, the actor. Ron Perlman?
No, the new guy who
David Harbour.
David Harbour, yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, I didn't watch that one, but just to answer your question, Marty, about the year that it came out, it was early 2000s, and I said that I learned about this through the movie. And shout out to my educational teacher. That's right, my teacher in high school was the one who put this on during a class, and we watched this. And that's
Nice.
where I watched this for the first time. So, guys, if you're an educator, if you're a teacher, man, do the same, because this got me hooked. That day, I will never forget. I'll never forget my teacher.
Is that the day that you realized that this was your passion right here?
No, at all, man. I realized that a long time ago. That was actually with the Spider-Man 90s cartoon. That's what really reeled me in.
Hey, Lando,
Gotcha.
was it by chance an English teacher?
It was an English teacher, absolutely.
The reason why I ask is because the creator of Hellboy draws analogies between Hellboy and Hamlet. It's because it uses the same movie as a story structure parallel. So, yeah, I'm not surprised your English teacher had you watch Hellboy, because it's basically Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There you go. But educational or not, just make your students watch comic book themed things, because it is glorious. Guys, Musings issue number 4 by Calliope back in 1994 had a top sale for a CGC 9.4 at $530. Marty, what do we got next?
Yes, look at this beautiful, gorgeous Del Auto cover, man. And he does some amazing stuff. I have to go in my collection. I collect Red Sonja, and I have to see if I have this book, because this is interesting. I didn't realize it actually fetched the price. But next shaker is Red Sonja versus Thulsa Doom number 2. This is the RRP, published by Dynamite in 2006. Gabriele Del Auto is an Italian illustrator and comic book artist. His first comic book cover art published in the U.S. was Fantastic Four number 56 and number 485. In 2002, since that time, Del Auto was put out an incredible amount of work and has amassed a very large fan base. The first cover that really turned heads stateside was the incredibly rare Amazing Spider-Man number... Okay. This book set off an avalanche that pushed many GDO incentive variants to higher prices in late 2015 and 2016. Tons of his Marvel Ratio variants saw huge spikes, including books like X-23 number 1, Winter Soldier number 1, Original Sin number 7, Original Sin number 8, and Deadpool number 36. Just to name a few. There have also been many overlooked covers that have finally seemed to become more and more collectible as available copies find their way into collections. One such book that fits this criteria is Del Auto's cover for Red Sonja versus Thulsa Doom number 2. This series consisted of 4 issues, each having a Del Auto variant. These covers vary, as some are standard covers, some are incentive variants, and some, even more rare, are RP versions. This particular book we are covering this week is the RRP version for issue number 2, as it sets a new all-time high sale. On March 8th, a raw near mint copy sold for $120, making it yet another Del Auto variant that crossed the $100 mark. Del Auto was the focus of my first published comic book article back in early 2016. So to say I'm a fan would be an understatement. Del Auto has many under-the-radar gems from 2002 to 2015 that are rarely mentioned. But if you come across some of these books in cheap back issue bins, it may be a good idea to pick them up. And I absolutely have to agree with this read.
Yep.
I've always collected anything Del Auto, especially anything Red Sonja. They always seem to come about, especially for the covers, man. Earlier Marvel Red Sonjas, I really enjoyed that read. But as Red Sonja kind of just evolved through Dynamite, and it just didn't really do too much for me. But nevertheless, I buy these for definitely for absolute beautiful covers, man. You can't go wrong with anything like this. Red Sonja, one of my favorite characters. I have a few of her sideshow collectibles premium format figures that have come out. So I'm definitely a beloved character of mine. So I like to see that this book made this list.
Yeah, it's really neat. There's a because this one here, I think you said this is the 1 in 50. I think this is the incentive one because there's a open order one that is more colored. Because I saw somebody in the chat mention that yeah, it was We Are Venom saying it looks unfinished, but this I believe, I'm not sure.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I got it pulled up. The regular cover, sorry, the regular cover is her showering, but the cover B is this cover with color. Where right now the only color is on Red Sonja, but on the regular cover B, the whole
thing is covered.
And
I love this, man. I love this type of art where it's black and white or shades of gray, and then you put you know, some coloring in certain things. I like that type of concept.
Yeah, but I agree, man. The Del Auto incentives for this mini series is like the covers are absolutely stunning. This one is great. I love it. I love Del Auto, so it's an automatic for me. Chris, what do you think of this? Do you like it?
I mean, I was never a huge Red Sonja fan. You know, it is what it is. She's got fans. Every time I try to pick up some of her books to sell, you know, they move kind of slow. So you really got to look for those you know, special incentives and stuff like that. So yeah,
for sure. But guys, Red Sonja versus Thulsa Doom issue number 2, Del Auto RRP. Dynamite 2006 top sale for a raw near mint copy, $120. Oh man, guys, buckle up for this one because I think everyone's gonna be in shock. Get ready.
Best art ever. Look at that art. Holy cow! I can't believe those lines.
Okay. Amazing.
So over the last couple weeks, we have had several employee edition, special like meeting investor edition kind of thing, or Christmas party edition. This is another employee edition book, and it's Spawn number 285. The cover is done by me. I'm the artist here.
Very nice. Great work, Chris. Great work, man.
A lot of time spent on that. If you are passionate about, I think Marty, you helped me on this, didn't you?
I did, man. I threw some ink in there, man, somewhere.
If you are passionate about unsolicited books, here's an intriguing find that may have flown under your radar. This week, a limited and elusive blank edition of Spawn 285 fetched an all-time high of $1,800 for a CGC 9.6. But what adds to the mystique of this particular variant? It turns out that McFarlane, the renowned creator, presented these blank copies to his staff as a unique token, a practice he has been known to embrace on occasion. Yet many of us are left scratching our heads. Why would he distribute a blank comic without a signature or a remark or anything to personalize it? To complicate matters, some online communities have claimed to encounter additional blank giveaway variants for issues 270 or 310. While we are still working to authenticate these assertions, and that we is cover price, not me, it sparks an exciting discussion about the possibility of hidden treasures lurking in the comic book wilderness. Yeah, this is something.
Yep.
Of course, the sell for this is that it's an employee edition rather than, you know, it being a blank cover. But
sure,
you know, okay. I mean, if that floats your boat, right?
So, guys, I normally don't shameless plug myself at all. But I spoke about this on my show on Sunday. And what was interesting about this is that, yes, guys, I know it's mind-blowing how we're seeing a $1,800 sale for a 9.6 blank cover with absolutely nothing on it. But yes, it is the fact that these employee variants are pretty hard to come across. There's other issues as well for employee variants in the spawn run. I believe there was 270, 286, 87, 88, all within that range. And guys, this is a prime example as to why it is not easy being a spawn completionist.
No.
It's gonna hurt the wallet. It's gonna hurt the wallet.
There's no way.
Yeah.
No.
But anyways, a very impressive sale. Spawn 285 Employee Edition blank cover. Call it the first appearance of Invincible Spawn or whatever you want. Image 2018 had a top sale for a CGC 96 at $1,800. Guys, it's the last shaker of the night, but hang tight because we're going to see what's shaking as well on the Cover Price website. I heard that. Marty.
Next shaker is Warhammer 40,000 Mettle, published by Boom Studios, 2006. Warhammer is officially on a roll. In last week's shaker report, the rare Warhammer monthly #1 sold for incredible $805 for a graded 9.8. Warhammer 40,000 has been around for over 40 years, an amazing testament to the tabletop game that will soon be turned into a TV show starring Henry Cavill. The Warhammer comic book started with Warhammer Monthly in 1998, which ran for 86 issues. Since then, many different series have been produced by Boom Studios, Titan Comics, and most recently Marvel Comics. Warhammer 40,000 Mettle was the prequel to Warhammer 40,000, Damnation Crusade, and was a limited edition comic that was only available for the retail rewards program participants. The first sale that we recorded was less than $10 in December of 2022. This week, the second recorded sale was an amazing $400 for a raw near mint copy. Another interesting sale this week was for Warhammer 40,000 #0 Previews exclusive, which saw a graded 9.86 for $255. There are many Warhammer comics published over the years, so keep your eyes peeled when searching those long boxes as you may come across one of these gems. And I'm so glad that they're doing something with Warhammer. I love that they're bringing an A-lister into to play whatever part they decide what play. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they do for as far as the live action.
Yeah, the live action is, clearly getting people revved up, excited. Now looking at some books here on the secondary market, but man, it's an impressive sale for such a book, right? Raw near mint going at $400. That is pretty up there.
Yeah, it's interesting. But we see these things, rise and drop, and they'll fluctuate based off of how close we see it. It gets closer to the release of the series, and then how well the series or how bad the series does, and then we'll either see a slight spike or below. I mean, these aren't long-term specs, if you're buying for something. But there's a huge following for Warhammers. This is sort of a niche collecting, so there is a huge following. If you guys don't know, this is one of those big games that a lot of those gamers play that you see at comic book stores that have gaming portions on it, man. So, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Marty, that Warhammer is an evergreen intellectual property, and it will continue to get attention even if the supposed show does good or does bad. It's just one of those things, and people who play Warhammer, they drop large stacks of money for little pieces of plastic. It's no doubt that they would drop large stacks of money for comic books as well.
Yep. Yeah.
Exactly, man. But guys, Warhammer 40,000 Mettle, boom, 2006 top sale for a raw near mint was $400. which is not too bad. That was the list for tonight. But guys, hang tight. If you didn't see some Marvel books or DC books you wanted to see or other books you wanted to see, well, Chris is going to run us through the daily shakers over on the Cover Price website. So let's get it.
Shake, Shonora. Shake your body down. Shake, Shonora. Shake your body down.
Marty,
I mean, what happened to the intro video on that one, Chris?
we have it. You guys want it here?
Yeah.
Shake it now, feel the beat, move it, shake it loud, on repeat, party started, never stop, shake it like nobody's watching, rock the top, shake it on the floor, it's the shaker repose, feel the vibe and let it transpose, shake till you drop, hands in the air, the shaker repose, party everywhere.
Party everywhere.
All right. Well,
It's not
you
coming
know,
out.
it's just
I
one
like
of those
it.
things, you know.
There you
Uh, tell you what, if I get furloughed next week, then I will spend some time to try to polish that up. Okay.
Okay.
Because I just don't have time to do it otherwise.
Yeah, maybe a little bit shorter, next. Or I can still keep singing the song if you like. I mean, I have no problem with that.
Marty Oki is always a good time.
Yeah,
Marty,
yeah,
I will take a week of leave so you don't have to sing again. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so we got the cover price here. This is the Shaker report. We're going to scroll down and you see where it says Daily Shakers right here. That's where you're going to click if you have a prescription. So let's check out what is shaking. All right, and right up top. So where does this list come from, right? This is important to talk about.
Was that dial up, man? What you got going on there, dude?
that 56 baud, okay, right? Yeah. Ooh.
I told 56K modem. What you got going on here, Chris, man?
It feels like I need to explain what a modem is to the people. All right. This list is generated multiple times a day. It takes sales from eBay and other auction and live sale platforms. I believe the Cover Price team is looking at ways to integrate other things in a non-manual way, because I think when there are big books that sell on like heritage auctions or something like that, they input that as well. But there are sales all over the place. There are sales on eBay. You got Macari, you got Whatnot. There's a lot of potential options to get this data in here, and most of it comes from eBay because that's the biggest auction platform out there.
Yeah.
So
Chris,
when sells, it makes the list, right? And so these are the recent sales.
the platinum Spider-Man, please.
And yeah,
All the way at
you
the
guys
top
in the
of the
chat, as we're scrolling down, if there's something you see up there that you want us to click on, go ahead, let us know in the chat, and we'll definitely pull it up for you.
Yeah, so check this out. This Platinum Spider-Man, $2,880.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
And this is that one that's got. I know that they did a bunch of re-releases for it in 2020, but the original ones were like, you had the black and silver one, you had the green one, you had the gold one, but the mama of all of them is the platinum one.
And guys, this isn't even the highest sale recorded. Like,
no,
2,880 is still a very impressive sale.
yeah,
Very impressive.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go back. So you see a lot of the same repeats up at the top. You see Hulk 181 in here all the time. You see Spider-Man 129 here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see Marvel Spotlight number 5 all the time. This is interesting. Again, we see Ghost Rider, getting some love. And then you also have the iconic covers for like Green Arrow, Green Lantern here.
I used to own that one right there, man.
Really?
Yeah, I sure did. I sold that bad boy.
This is probably my favorite Neil Adams cover, second only to the Muhammad Ali fighting Superman. This, Batman 227, amazing right here. First Swamp Thing, you know.
Yep, first one, yeah.
First Mad Magazine is going to be on here. You got Jack Kirby's Daredevil. That's pretty awesome. And then, of course, you have some more recent things like First Dazzler. I wonder why this is popping again. This is interesting. It 9.8 sold recently for $1,140. It's not because of Taylor Swift rumors.
Nope.
No, it's not that.
I just realized that the text was really small in the video. So
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Captain Britain. Look at you.
Yeah, first.
Captain Britain, yeah.
That's cool.
So in addition to just seeing the overall report, there are a bunch of filters up at the top too. So as soon as we're done scrolling on this, we'll go up to the top and we'll apply some filters and see what happens. But you know, here's another one, right? This book is going to spike when the new movie comes out. 750 is as low as I've ever seen it in recent memory. So that's something. And hey, I got this one. I just have the direct edition, not the newsstand. So that's pretty cool.
I'm not entirely surprised to see Batman 608, the second printing, right there.
Yeah.
Make a sale. I imagine people are going to be hunting these down a lot more, not just because Hush is obviously making his way back within the current Batman series, but CGC announced an in-house signing with obviously Jim Lee. There's Scott Williams and Alex Sinclair. So I think a lot of people are going to start picking those up again.
Yeah, there's a companion piece to that Batman. It's Superman is the other companion piece. I have the Superman one, but that Batman one, man, that just it's a hard one to get unless you're willing to pay some good top dollar for it, man. Especially for a new one.
Yeah.
So this is a surprising one to me. I mean, because Gold Key Turok comics are not really worth very much. You know, this is raw, you know, in the $6 to $10 range, but a 9.8 recently sold for $600 for this. I mean, that's incredible. That is absolutely astounding.
Yeah.
Because you see these all the time, and they're always beat up. Here's that Hulk 377 third printing.
Third print. That's the air printing.
Yeah, I think the second print.
I love this one.
I think I have
so much.
Yeah.
I have that one. I have the third printing.
Yeah, so I've got the original printing, and I've got the second printing, and I have the newsstand. But I don't have this one. And I tell you, out of all of these, the one that I want the most is the finished edition. Because how cool is that?
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Even if Gabe thinks that, even if Gabe thinks it's printed in some guy's basement.
Yeah.
It's all right. Dragon Ball Z.
Yes, sir.
Here you go. Well, the arguably first Black Suit Spider-Man. If not the first Black Suit Spider-Man cover, then at least the origin story.
Yeah.
Frank Miller, when Frank Miller's art was palatable.
Yeah.
Let's not go there, man. That's just so disappointing, you know?
Look at this. Another Turok 9.8 sold for over $500. This is incredible.
Very nice.
I mean, if you have some of these old Turok books in really good condition, I think it might be worth submitting them to CGC.
Agreed.
And of course, you see Mark Spears, right? All right, so let's go all the way back up to the top. And let's use this awesome filter action. I am going to show only new all-time highs. I think Chad asked for that. So
it's my favorite filter on the website. Let's go.
Yeah. So look, this is pretty cool. I've got this. I think mine's in really beat up condition. I don't think mine can get an 8.5, but almost $1,000. That's pretty crazy. That's crazy. And hey, don't skip all these true to life romance books. All these old romance books, the 10 centers, you can get some pretty good money for them. Like this CGC 5.5 sold for $729.
Wicked.
Incredible. Keep going.
Nick Robles list.
Interesting. Okay. Get some old 1940s comics, of course. Any
What's
old
that? John Boy Myers. I love his work, man.
Yeah,
Go to
dude.
that one with the magic cover. Is that magic?
This is one of those like negative color art ones that you were talking about.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, absolutely.
So good.
And not to mention, man, John Boy does some really amazing work too. I
Yes.
really like his style.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been talking how much I love John Boy for quite some time. Over on multiple streams on YouTube, man, and I think those of you who have followed me in the past know I absolutely love John Boy's work, man. I don't know if Matt DeVoe is still here from Cover Price in the chat, but man, John Boy did a wicked Mega Man cover, and it was an open order cover, Virgin. So nice, so nice. I love his work, dude.
Well said, man. I have that one. I have that movie poster with Princess Leia. Yeah, I have that one.
I'm not surprised.
And I have go up, and I have that Savage Sword of Conan #1 as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I missed out on this one by like 30 seconds. So
Really.
I picked it up for $5 right before I did. And like,
Interesting thing is, I had this when it first initially, not first initially came out, but I had this back in the 80s when I was initially collecting comic books. I was a young kid. I was a young kid back in the days, and I got this from my father. He had this.
Wow.
And so it was my collection for a while. I eventually just lost it somehow. It just, I don't know. I can't remember. But I eventually bought my own copy. Of course, it's not in a high 9.6 or 9.8 grade. I think mine's like a 7.0 or something like that. But I'm just happy to have it. Because talk about nostalgia buys. That was definitely a nostalgia buy for me.
okay, so I wanted to let you finish, Marty, but what the hell is this? Why is this little boy in a Davy Crockett hat dancing with detached testicles? It doesn't make any sense to me. What is going on?
What is he doing? No, what?
He's dancing with detached testicles that have little mustaches.
Who's now? Okay, that's a good perspective there, Chris.
No idea what's going on, guys. No idea.
Super weird. Okay.
To me, it looks like garlic cloves, man.
Definitely wasn't garlic cloves. Those are some tea bags.
Oh, that's a beautiful J. Scott Campbell cover too, man. That's one too that slipped my fingers, but that's gorgeous. I love that.
All right. Another cool thing you can do is sort by what you have in your own collection. I won't do that, but you can also sort by era and publisher, which is pretty cool if you're looking for something specific. Like if you want to see, like what is shaking that was a Malibu comic, because I'm a big Malibu comic fan from back in the day. This is always entertaining. You got Evil Ernie. Oh. Right, look at that first appearance, sold for $330. And you have the first. This is not even the first Mortal Kombat. This is just a Mortal Kombat #1, standard cover 9.6, sold for $100.
Chris, that's not how you say Mortal Kombat. Come on, you know how to say it.
Mortal Kombat.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, see, Marty.
Yeah, man,
right there. Love it.
Mortal Kombat. Hold on. Mortal Kombat.
I apologize to wearing headphones.
Carry on, man. Carry on. Okay. I'll be around all day.
All right. So that is the Shaker Report, and you too can have access to the Shaker Report by subscribing to Cover Price for a measly, like it comes to like $6 a month, something like that. You pay it all one time of the year. Just let it ride and enjoy the best collecting app online when it comes to comic books. And I put my money where my mouth is. I am a subscriber. I'm a long time paid subscriber. Yeah. dig it, and you can too.
There you have it, guys. That was the Shaker Show. So thank you so much for hanging out. Before we say goodbye, obviously we're going to go around the horn. Chris, you just almost wrapped it up, but anything else you want to add to that?
Oh man, I'm tired. It's 10:30. It's an hour and 15-minute show. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe. Let's grow this community. Let's get it all out there so that we can get more people in the chat and have more fun.
Hell yeah. Marty, take us home, baby.
Man, it's so good to be back on a Shaker Show, man. I had fun tonight. As always, have fun in every night that I'd be able to come on here and talk with my fellow comic book collectors. But it is so nice to see everybody in the chat enjoying. What you got there, buddy? Oh, Marvel Rivals, Amazing Spider-Man. You picked that one up. God, okay.
Ooh,
nice. But anyways, thank you for everybody for joining us in the chat. If you catch us on the rewind, really, we do really appreciate it. Thank you for putting up with our antics on here, especially me most of the time. I just kind of I enjoy myself, and it's really genuine. It's my passion. I'm having a lot of fun. It's not an act, but I do really enjoy myself being able to come talk comic books with my fellow panel members and just having a great time. And guys, we really appreciate you guys joining us. And may the comic gods continue to bless your long boxes. May our spirit of our friend TiVo continue to look down on you and on your long boxes. Excelsior.
Excelsior, baby. Couldn't have said it better. Have yourselves a great weekend. We will see you guys next week. Adios.
For the entire crew, this is T-Bo saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.